I always talk to Cory Bell and ask, what's your favorite color? What you like? Cause it could change. It'd be pink this, it'd be purple tomorrow, you know. So I want to talk to you. I want to know what's going on. Who, like you said, who your friends are, and what it creates that relationship. It creates a bond that can't be broken. So when I was the oldest, and I realized, I remember my brother and sister, they kind of looked at me as a figure, father figure, and because I was on them, I'm asking them questions, and I remember one of their friends said something. Why you listen to your brother?
Wow.
And he said something to me, and it just almost brought tears. He said, if you had the type of brother I had, you'll listen to him too.
Wow.
And I was just like, man, it's that bond. So even when they get older and when situations occur where it's challenging, that negative peer pressure, you put, hey, come out here and do this with me. Come do this. Man, the relationship with my dad, I ain't finna do that. I'm not finna mess that up. That's a bond we have.
Yeah.
So it creates a protection. So that's why it's so important to be active and know what's going on with your kid, and not just picking them up and not talking to them, not communicating with them, watching TV, but you're not talking. You know, no, we're going to have dinner time. We're going to sit down at the table, at least for a minute. I know it's hard. Everybody want to watch their favorite shows now. People don't even eat at the table. But even if that's not your way of doing it, you know, it's nothing wrong. If you're going to eat and watch TV, that's fine. But have a moment where you're like, hey, this family time. Yeah. We're going to do it once a week. We're going to talk about what's going on in each other's life. That's what I try to do anyway. I try to always have that time to bond. Even with my 1-year-old, Caleb, like we have that time where it's like, it's just me and him. You know, he can't really communicate every aspect, but we could play and he understand, like, that's my dad. You know, and I love it. When I walk through the door, it's like, dad. And I think that's true relationship, that's true bond, because I give him that time. Yeah. I truly, you know, so he's excited. He really to spend time with his dad. So.
And then I also think that it's very important, you know, when you have children, have individual time. You know, there are times, okay, we just went on vacation. And my son and my husband decided they're going to go challenge each other on the basketball court. Okay, well, y'all go have y'all male bonding time. Me and Kayla, we finna go and get our, you know, stuff to do our manicures and our pedicures and our facials and go get us something to eat. And we're going to have, you know, our girl time and watch Princess and the Frog. Yeah. But it's important that, you know, you... Just like he has time with Tim, he makes time for Kayla. Definitely. You know, it's important that you make time for both kids. Because sometimes, you know, children, especially if you're in a multiple kid household, sometimes they feel like, well, dad will give you all the attention. Mama always doing for you, you know. But it's important to make sure that you show love. And one of the things I want to point out is I know Cory's mom. We've been friends for a number of years. And she loves her children equally. I've never, because usually you have some parents, you'd be like, okay, that's their favorite child right there. There is no favorite. At least I don't see a favorite. All of her children she loves equally. She's taught me a lot about motherhood, by the way. But you know, it's important, and it creates an atmosphere where the children are not jealous. Because they know mother and dad loves every one of them equally. You know,
and then you create, like, you know, what each person needs too. Like, you know, that's the great thing. Like, that's why I love what you said. Spend time with each kid individually, because it might be a need you don't know. You know, you give them loving them the same way. And this one kid like the receive notes and like the, you know, want to hear it with writings, or someone else would like to hear it with materialistic things, or somebody want to hear it with words. You know, so you figure that out. But when you gonna have a relationship, it's just like a dad, like, hey, I'm finna buy my kid a car and that's it, you should be happy. And she's like, nah, I would love for you just take time and let's go out on a date, a dad and daughter night. You know, I do that with Cory Bell. We'll go get ice cream, just me and her. You know, and treat her and let her understand how to be around a real man one day. Like, you're gonna have that. These are things that, you know, a person should treat you with respect, and we have those conversations and talk about different things like that. So I think it's important to give that individual time as well. So we are past our commercial break, but you know what, this conversation is so good, we're just gonna keep on going. What you think about that, Cory? Hey, let's keep it rolling.
So, Cory, talk to us about being a mentor. I want to touch into this because we were supposed to do a show on this, but when you talk about fatherhood, there are people that are ordained to be fathers that are not biological fathers.
Yes.
And I think you were in that role at an early age, being a teacher in the school system. You didn't necessarily take out the time to say, you know what, somebody else's children, I ain't gonna be bothered with them. You said, no, I see a need, and I'm gonna, be a mentor to a group of young men so that I can help them reach and, realize and reach their potential.
Yes.
Talk about the importance of being a mentor, because it's kind of like a father relationship.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like a father relationship. I received an email, it was a DM from one of my former students. They got kids now and all that, and it said, "Mr. Penn, you changed my life. I didn't understand the things that you were saying when you was when I was in middle school, and I used to wonder why you was making these statements and all that. But how you carried yourself during that time made me become a better man." And
awesome.
And that meant a lot. I was like, wow, man, that's somebody's life that basically said, man, it was changed because of me, about being a mentor. And I think sometimes we get in this place where I just got to protect my family, and and of course that's important. Family come first. You should be a dad and father to your kids, but then you also should give back, to your community. You should serve and be a mentor for someone else, because we have situations where kids don't, we always assume the worst, where like, oh, the dad just left, he didn't want to be there. But what about the kids that fathers pass, right?
Wow.
Like he was a great dad, but just passed. I have some youth that I work with that parents, their dad passed, and I had to become that mentor. Someone needed to be there. Someone needed to be there to encourage them to keep going, to not give up, and it worked. And so both of the kids, I can say, they doing amazing jobs. And it was just me just giving them a little time, just letting them know, hey, if you need somebody you could talk to, here's my number. Call me anytime. If you need a counseling session, let's have that conversation. We talk about your goals, your future. I think it's important to give back. So I encourage all men, find someone that you can pour into and give that wisdom and knowledge, and you'll be amazing, because it changes that's how you change the world. The Bible says, go forth, told the disciples to go forth, right? So we got to do the same thing. We got to go, and if we want to see a difference in our communities, we have to be mentors. Mentor somebody.
Yes, I think it's very important as well, because not only are you changing the world, but you're helping to create a better future.
That's it.
Because Hollywood, they're going to put with the juicy stuff. They're not going to put the real stuff, because sometimes the real stuff won't get the ratings that they want.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be a guy who's going to be an abuser, he going to be the most terrible abuser. If it's going to be somebody that's going to commit adultery, they're going to, just really dog that woman out. So you got all these negative images that are being portrayed, and if you're so busy working and not really paying attention to your child, and they're consuming all this negative content, guess what? When they get ready to start building their relationships, they got all these negative choices to choose from. No positivity. So you have to have, if you're not going to take the time to, if you're a single mom and you're trying to raise your children, you're working or whatever, put them in a boys and girls club, get them involved in church or some type of, mentoring, group or organization, so that they can learn to thrive and be productive citizens.
That's it.
I think we do our children a disservice. It's not like it was 30 years ago. I remember my husband's grandmother saying, well, baby, when we had kids, we got up at 5 a.m. and we cooked breakfast and we did this. And I was like, Miss Brown, it's not like that no more.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're not even getting into bed till 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And you got to get right back up at 5 and get it. So, you have to rely on other things to, help out, whether it's McDonald's feeding the kids tonight because I got to, go back in here and work on this proposal, or, I don't have time to spend time with the kids right now, but let me, put them in the Boys and Girls Club where they can be surrounded by positive male influences that's going to help, help them develop. So talk to them about what a parent should look for, because sometimes we look for somebody that looks like they may be the proper image. And then it finds out, later when it's too late that they were not the best image.
Yeah.
How can we determine whether or not a person should mentor our children?
I think you really going back to we in our first conversation it is like a process like interviewing. You know, just because a person is offering free service or affordable service or whatever, or they say I want to be a mentor. No, you shouldn't just let anyone come into your life. Go check their social media pages out. You know, go check out, ask questions about them. That don't bother me when people say, "Hey, I asked about you." You should. If you're gonna leave your kids, drop them off with me, you should want to know the person you're dropping your kids off with. You know, do a tour with us. I always tell parents before, you know, you sign up, let's do a tour of the club. I want you to see it. Like, we didn't know you was coming in today, so you know it's nothing prepared for you. Like, oh, we got so and so coming, let's be extra. you know? No, I didn't know you showed up today. But guess what? I feel comfortable. Our staff doing what they're supposed to do. So let's walk around and have a tour. So I think that's important. Like, truly, like, these your kids, it's important. Even it's like choosing a school. Like, I don't just send my kids to a school. Like, I want to go and visit. I want to meet the principal. I want to meet the teachers. I want to know who is working with my kids. So I think that's important in finding. And then in the end, honestly, and I encourage, and it's not I believe it's important to know that the person truly have the same values you have. Because if they don't, then that's what they're going to teach them. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand these organizations and anything that you get a child a part of. Make sure they have the same values you have, or you would like your kid to have. Because if not, then you're gonna see some challenges. You're gonna see some things like, where that coming from? Well, who you have them with? Yeah, you know.
And if something don't sit right in your spirit when you go visit, don't put them there.
That's it. Like, nah, you know, it's time. And I had a situation even just from a daycare perspective. My daughter was attending, and I went and I pulled her that same day. Like, I don't care. Like, nah, this not it. This not the place. You know, it's time to go. So when you have those moments that you feel that way, and I believe that God will always. And at the time, it was a more affordable place, but I knew that wasn't the right place. And so I opened the opportunity, and I thought it was gonna be more expensive, but it was actually cheaper. Wow. You know, I found another place. So that's the thing. Like, when you do what God tells you to do, everything else is gonna fall in place. So don't get caught up in the money. Don't get caught up in all these other different factors. Do what God tells you to do. And if you see that it's not working for your kid, it's time to move.
Wow. And that is the end of this program, Cory. It went by so fast.
I know.
Tell people how they can get in contact with the Kiwanis Boys and Girls Club.
So, again, you can go to the Boys and Girls Club of South Alabama. You can go to the our website, and then you'll see all the listing. You'll see Kiwanis Branch as one of the sites. Our phone number, email is all there. We located at 712 Rice Street. And they can come in, do a tour, ask our membership clerk, and we'll be happily to give you that tour. So if you need anything, just let me know.
All right. Well, Cory, thank you again for being a guest on the Color Outside the Box podcast. Guys, until next week, we got some more great topics coming your way, but I'm not going to reveal them right now. You're going to have to tune in to the Color Outside the Box podcast on Spreaker, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Apple Podcasts and more. Until the next time, have a blessed day. Color Outside the Box is a podcast series that focuses on creating a better you. Whether it's advice about family, relationships, raising children in this technological world, marriage, or careers, we seek to find the answers to help you live your best life. So start your Monday morning off right with me, your hostess with the mostest, Princess Miller, on Color Outside the Box right here on iTunes and everywhere podcasts can be heard.